Injury update was Smitty had mentioned to me. Don't forget about the injury update for the White Sox.
Unfortunately,
We'll
yes.
start with the near and dear to Smitty's heart because of his fantasy baseball team, Lance
Slop deck motor
Lynn.
finger.
That's right, that slapdick motherfucker, Lance
We don't
Lynn.
know that he said slapdick motherfucker. We're assuming. I think it was slop deck motor finger.
Okay, maybe it was then,
Hence my
but
fantasy baseball team name.
he had what was supposed to be his tune-up game on Wednesday night, which was supposed to be 5 innings, and I think it was around 80 some pitches. That turned into 3 innings, 6 earned runs, and 8 hits. However, he says he's ready to go. And I believe Tony said something to the lines. Well, if he says he's ready, then I guess he's ready. So
Yeah, I think the only what you could say about that is he's not worried about the results. He's just worried about the process and how he's feeling. So,
yeah,
he didn't really care, but it would be nice to know that he was completely dominating the minor leagues in his outing. So it's a little
yeah.
disconcerting, but if he's
I
healthy, I think he's going to be all right.
I actually thought he would not join the team this year. This week.
Wow.
Sorry. Whoa, they're holding him out a year after that performance.
You were trying to trade for him in our fantasy league.
That it doesn't make any sense now, Pete. No, that he wouldn't join the team this week, that he would have one more outing down there, but it looks like he will be joining the team this week. So look for Lance Lynn to be back on the roster. I do believe I saw him in the dugout the other day. So that would point to signs of yes. On not so good news, the oft injured Eloy Jiménez has been shut down for about 5 days.
I've got a question. I've got an impromptu ASKHOLE.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Would you call Eloy Jiménez injury prone?
That's an understatement. He would be on my list of that I did not compile as my homework assignment of guys who may or may not still have trade value and might be worth trading to get someone who could play out there on a regular basis.
Well, that Rick Hahn bristles at that even notion, or that anyone would possibly say that he is injury prone.
Yeah. Well,
lazy analysis.
Well, a lot of GMs do take the the protecting the player, and they also don't believe in injury proneness with players, which I find is they believe that they get injured from playing hard. Okay. But if it happens over and over again, I would say you're injury prone. I don't know what else to say.
It's a Hahn is essentially making a semantic argument that would, just like you said, to back his player and not to hurt his trade value potentially. But I just thought that came up over a month ago. I never brought it up, so I wanted to jab you with that here on the first Sox type thing.
You're not going to get an argument out of me that I think him, Mankato, injury prone. Mankato seems to have never recovered from COVID, to be honest.
I mean, is it long COVID?
He has not been the same since COVID.
Boy, that is.
And he had major symptoms. So
yeah, and there's the long COVID thing you hear about. That's kind of mysterious. So you don't really know what that means, but that was going to be the subject of another ASKHOLE question I might as well bring up now.
Go right ahead.
Is he worth $22 million for the next 3 years? Because that's his average salary.
I know
the remainder of his contract.
You mean when they signed him and it looked like a deal, and you told me, well, it may not. You have to see how it plays out.
Remember that, don't you?
I remember everything. It's just what I decide to admit it.
I believe that was on episode like 78 or something.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It was a while ago last year because
it might not be a great idea, even though a lot of Sox fans thought it would be awesome.
Well, I mean, his numbers at the time, his WAR was through the roof for what he had played, and his numbers are all trending upward. I mean, I think the rest of this year, I will answer. Why don't we take that ASKHOLE, put it in your pocket, and pull it out at the end of the season, and then I will give you a real answer, because I have not closed the book on Mankato yet, and I believe the White Sox, he has not had a lot of major league at bats this year, and that's what everyone fails to realize at the moment. I've brought this up on Twitter. They keep saying he's injured. I don't think he's injured. I just think he didn't play a full spring. Well, no one played a full spring, but he played less of a full spring.
Right.
Then he had to go he did a quick rehab assignment because they wanted to get him up here. I mean, he's under 100 major league at bats this year, I believe. So, I mean, he needs some at bats. He needs to play on a regular basis every day. He needs to stop juggling the lineup and say, until Timmy and, until Timmy comes back, if you want to juggle who's at shortstop, fine. But your starting lineup should be every day. We should see Pollock in the lineup, who I got an update on my phone is leading off today. AJ Pollock is today, Friday, June 10th leadoff hitter. He'll be the third leadoff hitter for the White Sox since Tim Anderson has been injured. So Pollock should play every day. Mankato should play every day. Berger should play every day. Vaughn should play every day. Obviously Abreu. I think Grandel should still play every day. Outside of spelling him for what he needs to do for rest reasons. Obviously Lewis Robert, that goes without saying. So and I think Adam Engel should get more playing time. I think the Sox are better with Adam Engel on the field than Gavin Sheets right now. I think everyone wants to get rid of Gavin Sheets or whatever. Maybe send him down to the minors and let him get some more bats out on a daily basis down there. He had a great little streak at the end of last year. No one wanted to send him away last year at the end of the season. But we got to remember, he's a young hitter who doesn't even have a full major league season under his belt yet. So whatever. But the juggling of this lineup card every day needs to end.
Well, we started out as talking about Eloy being injured. What's the deal with Eloy at this point?
Sorry, I forgot. Oh my God, we really went off on we were down a rabbit hole on that one. Eloy has been shut down for 5 days, which Rick Hahn said is not alarming because it's normal leg soreness in regards to an injury like this. The reason I don't
does it sound logical to you? I mean, it's not a big deal, but it seems like a big deal to me if he's shut down while he's rehabbing. It just seems like Rick Hahn treats Eloy very differently than almost any other player, and he's very defensive about his physical health.
In regards to Hahn, what I'll say is I don't think he's ever really lied. At least not that anything that's been uncovered. He hasn't really led anyone astray about how injuries have worked for the White Sox.
Boy.
In fact, in most cases, everyone's come back early. This is like the one time someone's not coming back early.
I just think there's a lot of semantics with Hahn and how he talks about injuries, and which all of it doesn't matter. I mean, when they're healthy, they'll be back. But the way he talks about it is always fascinating to me because it seems like he's playing a lot of verbal gymnastics to kind of
Yeah, I mean, we'll know if for some reason Eloy doesn't come back and isn't playing after 5 days. Maybe it is a lot. It is worse than that, or something else happens when he's rehabbing again. But the thing that's more concerning about it is if you read on in that. It was that the 5-day shutdown restarts the 20-day clock. I don't know if you read or heard that part of it.
Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure. I heard Mully and Haw talk about that in 670 The Score this morning. And it sounded like they weren't really sure what that meant, if it was restarting the clock or if the clock would start back up the 20 games.
No, it definitely means that and they were clear, not that he may not come back sooner than that, but essentially they're saying
clear.
Yeah, clear as day. That the 20-day clock is back to day one when he takes the field again.
Which is fine. I mean, they don't even have to come up with a 20-day clock. They could say anything they want. None of it matters. But it's just I just find it curious how Hahn always frames these things in a kind of a confusing, convoluted way. But again, when they're healthy, they'll be on the field. But it just seems specific to Eloy that these keep coming up. The scratch your head comments.
He's such a happy guy. That's why.
That's right. I want to see Eloy back. He is like the happiest baseball player ever.
I know.
So, even though he should be playing on the north side of town, but that's a whole nother subject we will get into at other times on Sox type thing.
There is good news. It looks like Timmy's going to start rehabbing next week. So that is really good news.
That's huge considering how he looked when that groin injury first occurred. That was scary. So
let's see if that does happen, but that would put him on the short end of that timetable. So that would be good news for the White Sox. In fact, it could work out that you're seeing an Eloy and Timmy getting activated around the same time, maybe, and then what do your lineup card should be pretty fucking easy to fill out. No more fucking excuses, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's had injuries this year, and for the most part, outside of Anderson and Jimenez, the Sox have more than enough power at that lineup to where they should be winning games and getting plenty of hits. So let's bury the injury excuse and let's fucking start winning some ball games.
ASKHOLE Media.